Yes, came here from the States in October and started work on my block here not long after that. And finally have my holes done and in the ground and ready to have the carpenters start work on the major framing.
Okay.
Greg, most recently from Arizona, came here in October, and I've been on a sort of quest to leave the States for years, and ran into Linda Blue, who lives here, and about a year ago, and talked to her about different things, and ended up coming to visit and stay in her guest house in June. That's when I found this block and decided I'd had enough of the U.S. and for lots of different reasons, but it's good to be here and start building. All my tools, I brought all my photovoltaic system, and I had also sort of prearranged my immigration status. So when I got here, I pretty much had my immigration papers. So it made the entry a lot easier for me and my goods. If you do get your immigration, your semi-permanent residency, bring what you can, and your building materials, whatever you can. It's definitely going to make it easier than trying to find it. And then the resort is a nice resort, funky little resort. No jet skis, no parasails, no hula parties. It's definitely not for a lot of people. So, but there's a lot of people that like to live like that, and those people are here.
And you're finding that...
Well, one of the reasons I moved here is I was lacking that sense of community in the bigger areas. I was outside of Tucson most recently, and I've lived in smaller communities, and I realized the importance of smaller communities for me. And that's kind of what I was hoping to find here, and have that sense of community, build on it, and rely upon your friends, or your friends were relying upon you. And I'm not seeing that to a large extent yet. There's not that many full-timers here right now, but the ones that are, they're always willing to help you. Some are a little more reclusive than others, but that's why they moved here. So they're still, I'm still hopeful that this is going to attract more people who feel that they lack that sense of community also, and would like to find it. As I live here longer, and as my house gets built, that's what I'm looking forward now to the most, is getting my sense of place back. I've been kind of at loose ends for several years now, thinking about where I was going to go, what I was going to do, and now that I've made that commitment, my house and getting my gardens and just getting my sense of place back it's really important. It's important for my well-being. So that's the primary thing. I'm really looking forward to getting my gardens, my paths, everything set up the way I want it. You got to have outside interests when you come here. You know, music or gardening or art. There's a lot of DVD watching. So you have to rely on yourself, and to a certain extent your neighbors, but mostly yourself. You've got to be fairly competent in being by yourself at times. Mm-hmm.
And what are the things that you enjoy doing out here?
Oh boy, what do I enjoy doing? The water's amazing. The coral reefs. I've always been interested in wildlife, and I've been around wildlife all my life. And what you see on the island is not, as far as terrestrial life, there's not a lot compared to, let's say, Costa Rica or someplace like that. But once you get under the water, you've got this whole coral reef life there. And that's what's so striking and new to me, and really enjoyable. Mm-hmm. My house is a small house. I've got about 750 square feet, and that includes porches. That includes a 6-foot covered porch at one end and a 10-foot covered porch at the other end, which is the way I've got it designed is it's going to be part of my living space, and I can close it off when the weather gets bad. So I've got a fairly small 21 by 20 main living space. I'm going to have a lot of counter space in that small space compared to its size, but it should be and it'll have one bedroom and storage space underneath, but it should be ideal for one or two people and still have that openness that you want when you live. I've got a view. This is a north exposure, which for solar is pretty ideal for the southern hemisphere. And my view right now is on the other side of Dairy Bay. Dairy Bay faces sort of south, and I face north towards Sabu Sabu. So I'm on. Well, Nola Point is down this way, and right now behind me, I've got a trail to the beach. It's a rough trail, but it takes me about 15 minutes to get to the beach, and that's a plus too. You know, it's a nice beach, quiet beach. The Fijian people, I really, for the most part, I really enjoy. In fact, they're basically subsistence farmers. You know, they're poor people. They live a very subsistence life, but they're very happy. They're very clean. They're very neat. They're always willing to help you. There's definitely communication problems, even though one of the reasons I moved to Fiji is because English is the official language. There's still some communication problems with the villagers, and that's not just talkative type communication, but just the way they interact with people. And yeah, the Cebu Cebu I've had in one of the villages, and I've got a couple other Cebu Cebus to do. And I've got my caretaker picked out from one of the villages too. So yeah, and I do a little shopping in the villages, and it is an important part of why I'm here. You know, if the villagers weren't open to us being here, I wouldn't be here. Well, I'm a builder myself, so I originally thought I'd do most of the building, but I need things to go faster. One of the things that when you hire Fijians to work with you, you have to work with their hours, their time schedule, and it's not a normal Western time schedule. So you have to give up lots of things to work with them. But things are going slow enough because of things that have been out of my control that I needed to speed things up. So I hired some carpenters to work for me just to get the rough building up. And they're going to cost me, since my building is small, they're going to cost me about $6,000 to rough in it and get the roof on it and get my water system going. And then I will have, without the solar panels, I think I'll have about 30,000 Fijian dollars invested in this. And then my solar panels, my whole PV system is probably another 8,000 US. And so I don't know, I could be looking at $50,000 by the time I'm done with this and all settled in and have a nice house. That would be, yeah, about 50,000 Fijian. Right? Well, the fact that there's no power on Koro, that was one of the benefits for being here. Actually, is being more independent in lots of ways, you know, including energy-wise. So. I don't plan on living a primitive lifestyle because I've just got solar panels. I'm planning on having a refrigeration and a freezer and good lights. And no, I plan on living comfortably but simply. And my cost of living, I'm hoping, I'm not that far from Social Security, so I'm hoping I can get by on. Well, let's see, I've been thinking $400 or $500 US every month will get me by comfortably. Well, the sort of person that likes to live sort of off-grid, not really, I was going to say not really connected to the mainstream, but actually, I do need to be connected because I think the internet's a really important part. If the internet wasn't here, I'm not sure if I would be able to be dealing with the remoteness as easily as I am, because the internet is an important part for me anyway. Well, I want to do a couple things. I want to start. I brought materials to do a big pizza bread oven. I brought some fire bricks to do that, and I've also thought about doing a distillery because. I guess it would be nice to have a little booze occasionally. Just another hobby. The more things you can do, the more things that you can keep yourself busy with, the better you're going to be. And that's just going to be another one of my hobbies. I've gone through beer making, I've gone through all that, but beer making is expensive here, and so a distillery would be something that would be interesting but not expensive. That's the hardest part, I think, is not. I've been by myself since I came out here. In fact, I've been by myself for quite a few years now, and that's the hardest part about being here, is not sharing it with somebody. There's so much beauty here, so much interesting things to see and do. It would be best shared, and I don't mean just with a friend. You want somebody close to you that can share those intimate, and it can be, looking at a sunset can be a pretty intimate moment too. So looking at a palm tree can be a pretty intimate moment. So that's the sort of person it would be nice to be. Well, there's quite a few women here who are pulling it off, and I'm really impressed with somebody who can do that, male or female. Well, man or woman, it's the same type of person. You've got to be able to be self-contained in a way. Have your own interests. Have some independent money so you can afford to do this. Yeah. So I hope I've given enough good information. This is Greg on Koro, and I'm just encouraging people who think this sort of lifestyle would appeal to them to come on out and check it out. Give it a try. Talk to people who live here. We're always glad to share information, especially if we can get more people out here to share this lifestyle with us. That's what we're here for. We're not here necessarily to be recluses. We're here to share this lifestyle.